Hey guys, it's Coach Kim here, and I got a question for you today. Have you ever had something that's working out pretty well for you, and then you decide to make it better, and it turns into a big fat flop? Maybe it's a recipe that, your favorite recipe, and you decide to kick it up a notch, and it's a big fail. Or maybe it's a spreadsheet that you've been using for something, for tracking something, and you decide, you know what, I can make this way more efficient, I can improve the flow, and you start tweaking it, and you break all the links, and then the whole thing's just a mess. Or how about your schedule? When you finally have your schedule down and everything's working out pretty well for you, and you decide, you know what, I can change it up to fit in even more stuff, and it just doesn't work out. Well, that's what happened to me recently, the whole schedule snafu. So here it is, it's the end of January, and I came into this new year. I finished my marathon, I was so excited, and I decided, you know what, now that that's kind of out of the way and off my plate, I can really start to focus on some other things and take on some new projects. So I decided to switch up my training schedule. And I thought I had it all worked out. It started with a holiday kind of time frame when we had a normal break from the regular class that I take. And I decided I would switch my evening workouts to get back into a morning routine, because years ago I was an early morning workout person. I could pull it off and it was fantastic. So I dabbled with it and I started with it, and you know what? I had some great weeks. I'm like, I can do this. This is great. I was getting up at 4 a.m. Excuse me. I was out the door. I was at a class for 5:15. I was getting more done in the morning. I was hitting the office. I felt energized. I felt so productive. I felt fantastic. And for the short term, it worked. I was getting to bed early. I was getting up early, and everything was great. And then, I put it all on paper, and everything, even on paper, I'm like, you know what? I can do this. This is going to work out. Well, then real life kicked in. And after the holiday breaks, when all the classes that I take a few courses, when those kicked in, they start at 9 o'clock at night and run till about 10:30. When all the conference calls for different business launches that I'm working on, when those, kicked back into gear, people are now back and focused. Those a lot of times happen at 9 o'clock at night. My coaching sessions with my clients, those happen later because, most of my clients work during the day. So as real life started to get back on track, my nights got later and later. So of course, what happens, at least for me, I am not one of those people that can stay up late and then get up early and still function. I absolutely need a good 8 hours of sleep. And I tried it, and I was not a nice person for this last month, let me tell you. So there I was, when I get up at 4 a.m. regularly, I need to be in bed by 8:30. I don't know how many of you out there are like that, but I gave it a shot. And I was psyched because I found a great class. Shauna Wildman, Jeannie Marino, Kathy Lewinsky. You guys are like my hero. Shauna, your classes kick ass. But you guys maintaining that schedule ongoing, you are my heroes. I wish I could, because your class is great and it's nice and close. And but the reality is getting up at 4 a.m. every day and trying to be productive and be energized and serve people, it was just not working out. I need to be in bed by 8:30. So here I was. The first thing that started to go and suffer were my workouts. And for me, that just can't happen. It's a non-negotiable in my life right now. I know, because I know how much it affects all the other areas in my life. So my question to you is, it's the end of January. So what's not working in your life? So have you been trying to make some changes and they're just not working out? What can you do to tweak them and move forward? So here's the thing. I know I could have dragged this out for another month and said, I'm going to make it work. I'm going to make it work. But I know myself too well. So I needed to just cut that off at the knees and address it. So as any good coach does, it's measure, monitor, and adjust. What wasn't working? My workouts were suffering, and that just can't happen. So what do? I decided to go back to my normal schedule. It was working, and I get to go back to my favorite boot camp class. Cara Mead, you are a rock star. Ladies, I have missed you guys so much. I'm telling you, I felt like I was 10 years old and moved out of state and moved away from all my friends, missing the ladies at my boot camp. But I really thought, as far as I was trying to put, business ahead, because I know I'm always striving to be better, to grow faster or whatnot. But for now, I needed to make the decision. I know what's right for me in my heart, and I needed to go back to what was working. So again, my question to you is, what's not working in your life? Where can you change it? Where can you move on? Let's just address it. We all have those big fat failures. So if you got any value out of this, hit me up, like and share this. Find me at KimberlyBroom.com. I do have some great projects in the works for this, for the next coming months. So stay tuned. Lots of good stuff going on. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.